Hi everyone, hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane. Now, before I get into the main subject of today's video, just want to make a bit of an announcement, and that is that I am starting an OnlyFans account. No, I'm not really. I could actually feel the hatred and disgust come back through the camera there, which was kind of bizarre. No, I'm not starting an OnlyFans account. You haven't got that to worry about. But what I am doing is I'm going to be doing a live stream. I know I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but I'm planning to hopefully do it on the last Friday of this month. And the reason for that really is because for an awful lot of people, that will be the day before payday, or it will be payday. And I think it's a good time really as any to have a chat with you guys and sort of try and do something a bit different to what maybe a lot of us might historically have done on payday, which is or basically do our brains, isn't it? So that's kind of the idea. Also, I had a look at my Google Analytics this morning, YouTube Analytics in fact, and 70-something% of people who watch my videos, I think it's about 76% of people who watch my videos regularly, aren't actually subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I'd really appreciate it. And plus, if you click the notification bell, when I do go live, assuming it is on that date, it might be moved. At the moment, I've got a bit of a house full, to be honest, so it's quite hard to find the time. But if when I do go live, you'll be notified, and obviously you can come along and you can come and slate my my beautiful lockdown beard that's growing through very, very gingerly indeed. Hence the reason for the hat as well, and the hair's gone a bit crazy. So yeah. Anyway, on to the subject of today's video. Now, this has come off the back of a conversation I had with my wife the other day, where she explained to me that she felt like a bit of a mug for the years of our relationship, where I had been struggling with gambling, where I'd been in the midst of my gambling addiction, and I'd been gambling very regularly and to quite a great extent, but she was blissfully, shall we say, unaware of it. And she says she felt like a bit of a mug that she hadn't picked up on the signs. And I had to explain to her two things. Firstly, the main subject of this video, but also that gamblers are incredibly deceptive. We get worryingly good at lying. We get worryingly good at lying to the people closest to us, but we also get concerningly good at lying to ourselves. And that enables us to, like I say, to the outside world, but also to ourselves, cover up losses, to excuse behaviours, to give reasons for our bad moods. Obviously, quite often if you have a heavy loss, you can be in a particularly bad mood, but we have good ways of explaining it away, and we often put it down to work or just not sleeping well, or we have a raft of excuses. But beyond moods and beyond psychological factors, there are very few outward symptoms of a gambling addiction. That's what makes me believe that it's certainly one of the most dangerous addictions there is, because the vast majority of addictive behaviours or addictive substances do come with at least a small number of physical symptoms that can be picked up on by those people around us. For example, if we take alcohol has very obvious physical symptoms. If we are drinking to excess, it affects our motor skills, i.e. we fall over. You'll be able to smell it on people. It affects the way we speak. It affects the way our eyes function and look. And it becomes quite apparent if someone is drinking excessively and drinking regularly. And whilst, we sometimes make excuses for bad behaviours, I've been known to go to the pub and have a few too many beers and put it down to whatever, having a bad day. There's only so many times, if you're spending time around the same people, that you can excuse being drunk or certainly being under the influence of alcohol before it becomes maybe apparent to them that it's not just an occasional thing or not just a recreational thing, or maybe indeed that you've got a problem. Smoking is the same. Now again, smoking is a very legal thing to do. It's perfectly legal, but it's very, very hard to hide. Obviously it's very easy to smell it on people's breath, on their clothes, on their hands. It also discolours your teeth and things like that. So although you might be able to get away with having a crafty cigarette every now and then and cover it up, if you smoke regularly and you smoke around and you spend a lot of time with the same people, eventually they're going to be able to detect that you are indeed smoking. And whilst, again, it's not an illegal thing to do, it might be something that people see as an addiction, as a problem, and something that people might want to give up. And obviously, the vast majority of illegal substances, illegal drugs, have, very obvious outward physical symptoms, don't they? I won't go into each one in turn because I'm sure you know what they are. But gambling doesn't have any of those outward physical symptoms. Like I say, it might alter your mood slightly, but generally we become better and better as the addiction goes on at covering that up, at feigning happiness, at feigning interest, even when mentally we may be elsewhere, when our significant other or wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, whatever, are talking to us. We can put on a facade that disguises the fact that inside or in our heads, all we're thinking about is either gambling, when we can gamble next, about our last gambling session, or about a loss we've experienced, or something like that. We're able to put on a facade, and we become better and better at that. So the longer you're with someone, or the longer you spend in the same people's company, possibly the harder it becomes to detect a gambling addiction. Of course, there might be financial elements to this. So if you are married, or you share a bank account with someone, or you share responsibility for financial commitments, then it might be that this is what brings it to light. But again, we become very, very good at covering this up. How many times have we not been paid properly? How many times have we had an unexpected expense, or a car repair bill, or something that we've made up? Again, you can use excuses to hide this for so long. So to gamblers, I'd say this: sometimes the people closest to us, our partners, our parents, our siblings, whoever you've got that's closest to you in your life, they can be one of the best sources of support and help when it comes to your recovery. My wife has been absolutely fantastic in my recovery. We don't talk about gambling that much, but now she understands it. She allows me to talk about it when I want to. She knows I make these videos. She's actually subscribed to the channel, so hi darling, if you're watching. But if you can speak to these people, they can very well become your biggest support in your recovery. But they will often not know, or at least not realise the extent of the problem that you have, unless you open up and talk to them, because we're so good at hiding it. It's worrying, because I class myself as an incredibly honest person. I'm very upfront with you guys. I'm upfront with my wife. If I'm having a bad day, I'll tell her. If I've drunk too much beer at the pub, I'll tell her. If I've done something that I'm not particularly proud of, I'll tell her. And I'm the same with all the important people in my life. But when I was gambling, I could have been honest and open in every other respect. But I was incredibly dishonest when it came to both gambling and to the financial implications of gambling. Lies would roll off my tongue. It was, like I say, it's a real concern how it affects you mentally to enable you to just lie through your teeth, and so effortlessly. Whereas if I'm playing, I'm a rubbish poker player. I've always been a rubbish poker player because I can't bluff. I can't. My face says everything you need to know. If my wife asks me something and I don't really want to give her the answer, my face will give it away before my mouth does. So if you're a gambler and you're struggling with your gambling and you've got a gambling problem, then yes, it's difficult opening up. But if you're not honest, sometimes we'll just continue to hide this until it gets worse and worse and worse. Whereas if you open up, maybe you'll find that person that you're really concerned about talking to will become, maybe your biggest ally in your recovery. And to those people who are the partner, are the husband, wife, mum, dad, sister, brother of a gambling addict, or someone who you're concerned about in terms of their gambling, don't in any way blame yourself for not realising sooner. We are, as addicts, incredibly deceptive. It's not your fault. It wasn't your responsibility to find this out, to discover this. It's your good nature, it's your good character that has basically taken on face value what this gambler has been telling you this whole time. And they will have been lying to you a lot, but that's the fact that you trusted them and you believed in them and you took what they said as gospel. That says good things about you. So don't worry if it took you this long to find out. And when you come to supporting them, do what you feel is necessary. Don't bail them out financially. And it is their problem to sort out. And to everyone out there who's supporting Problem Gambler, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without the loving people I have around me, I don't know if I would have made it this far. So Thanks to them, and thanks to you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.